Pansy, the only ideas that they listen to are the ones that fill their pockets up so they can continue to pay the insurance on their new Bugattis. They've got Cronstone blue Bugatti, memory fragment yellow blue Bugatti, and all the blood from the PvPer red Bugatti from killing PvP. Okay? Soon enough, they'll have life skiller green Bugattis. You're not bound by the chains of this little motherfucker here, dude. He's got me by the dick. I can't go anywhere, dude. My paycheck relies on it. I gotta feed my family because of you. All right, so my boy Pansy has come out with another video called The Great Decline of BDO. Now, I know we've been on the hot topic of some dooming and glooming, but I have permission from Mr. Pansy to be able to react to this. He's asked me to give it a couple days since its upload. It has been quite a few days now, and I want to hear his take on this, and I want to hear what he has to say, and we're just going to kind of spitball with some of the things that he has to say. For those that don't know, Pansy is also a, I would say, pretty well-reformed BDO player. Has been playing for years in all departments of the game. I think he's got a very, very well-gathered opinion, and I think that he speaks very, very well in a non-biased way when it comes to also criticizing certain points as well. So I think that he's going to have a very well-gathered take on some of this as well. So I do think this will be something to consider and listen to. So let's take a look and let's chime in where appropriate.
Over the past couple weeks, there's been quite the drama regarding BDO. A lot of players have given up, decided to quit, taken a break. The Sweatiest Guild in NA decided to quit, and even Divio, someone I regard as the pinnacle of the game, threw in the towel. Among other things, there's been a lot of doom and gloom about the game going on.
Pansy, I swear to God, stop copying me when I said doom and gloom first, even though your video was posted clearly before I said this sentence. Okay? Get out of that crystal ball of yours.
I'm going to start this video off by making 3 statements. You might agree, you might disagree.
Okay.
But remember, it doesn't matter what I think, doesn't matter what I say, doesn't matter what someone like Just Strife or Lazy Peon or Asmongold thinks. What's important is your opinion. I'm just trying to give you guys my perspective. So
I agree. If you're having fun and you're enjoying yourself, then none of these takes on the negative side of things should impact your enjoyability if you are enjoying something. Honestly, if you are having fun, don't worry about it. Tune out the noise. Keep having fun. That's all that matters.
Let's start it off. BDO is in a declining state.
That's true.
No argument to this. It's clear as day. It has been declining since over a year now. They've been making decisions that haven't been the best, and sometimes it just baffles me what they're thinking, because ask the majority of the community, they would say, hey, this is a dumb idea. But
look at the player economy. The player economy is a great example. Look at the marketplace, and I will not be surprised if he starts bringing this up.
Dive into each of these statements in more detail. Number 2, BDO is not dead. You can still play the game. You can still buy items. You'll still see plenty of people running around. There's certain aspects of it which are considered dead and aren't worth doing. It's like pointless. But once again, we'll dive a bit deeper. But it's not completely dead. It's not in a state where you can compare it to an actual dead game. And finally, BDO is not going to die in the next 5 years, but it's never going to return to its glory days.
It could. It really could return to its glory days. But the mess is so big, the cleanup would be insane. The amount of shit that has to be done. I describe it like this. Underneath this giant mess is a beautiful game. The glory days. But there's so much nonsense and pure bullshit that has been stacked on, and questionable things that have been added to this rather than just simply thrown in the trash bin, that it would require a crew to go through this, or a complete new restructure of its systems. But we continue to have content that are destructive overall, especially of its economy. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think that making things more accessible to new players and players working on things is a bad thing. I think that's a great thing. I just don't like the tunnel vision type focus and perspective on things. If you do want to check out some of that stuff, I do have videos posted on my opinion on the state of the economy, my opinion on what I think is going to happen in the future, and things like that. You can find it on my channel. But the long story short is there is the chance, but in a game that is so RNG based, I just don't think we're going to hit the odds.
Their focus, by A, I mean PA and
money. It's just money. It's straight money. That is their focus. It is money. It is making their pockets deeper and deeper and deeper and reaching into it as far as they can to make you buy costumes. It is money.
Developers and their goals with the monetization.
There it is.
It's shifted. Their whole plan of action has gone to a different direction from what it was 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 4 years ago. It's a different game. You know, it feels different. It plays different. the gameplay loop is different. And
Well, it's not that different, my friend. We've literally gone from running in circles to stationary grinding, summoning a lantern that turns spots into new game plus, where we just stand in one spot and we now grind for very similar accessories that give us an accessory bonus with no more gear identity, and very much so taking away even from class identity because of that gear identity being lost in those changes.
their goal, whenever they give out free items, free
Make is to make more money. It's just money.
gear, it's not so you can run around telling people it's the best time to come back to the game. No, they're trying to get people over an initial hump where they generally quit to the precipice of the true end game loop, which is the Debo grind, and the
Yep.
Chronostone grind, which is their monetization strategy. It's
Not to mention new players as well. New players, mid players, because they want people buying inventory space, weight, all those little things that offer itself as an inconvenience. So you buy those conveniences to make that early mid game much better. But once you get into that end game, that's where kind of you hit that wall, because you're hitting points and pieces of gear that honestly the normal Joe Schmo is really not meant to obtain.
to be nice, not so everyone can be happy and playing the game and enjoying it because they got a free pen blocks there. No, there's a reason for why they give these out. Anyway, and we're going to dive into each of these statements in
talk about
more
it.
depth, but I do want to make
Let's
one
talk about it.
conspiratory statement, though. I
Oh,
believe,
it's right. Forgot statement. Right. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Right there. I like the video. Forgot. My bad.
or at least I have reason to believe, within the next decade, active development of BDO might be sunset, or it will at least be cut down.
Is it not already though? I mean, look at one of the new spots that we just got, Decia Crescents. Is it not though? Decia Crescents was a copy pasted version of Decia Thornwood, just put with crescent mobs and one little extra mechanic. And not to further mention, when the spot first came out, they made the trash icon identical to the normal mobs. And then recently they gave it a purple aura. I think anybody who knows how to use Photoshop could have done what they did. So yes, I do think that we actually kind of are already riding in that sunset.
Favor of a more profitable venture, which hasn't been announced yet, but will take its place. At the end of the day, BDO's monetization strategy is flawed. It's not a good one. It's not a successful one, at least in the grand scheme of their finances, as we've seen. It could be generally better. I personally feel a game company, which caters to a player base of 1 million players, is always going to be more successful than a smaller niche community, which is more heavily monetized. I always thought less monetization, but more players, builds up a bigger brand, builds up a bigger company, and it's worth more than a smaller player base, which could potentially be earning the same amount through more aggressive monetization. I always felt the former was a greater goal, but these companies always baffle me. And
because this is why I say it's PA first, player second. We have so many developers out there that are more concerned about their pockets than the passion of the players. And I truly think the passion of the players results in more profits over time, because people become excited and compelled and hooked on your product because it's giving them content to play and remember something that they love and are immediately hooked into for the short and long term. But you continue to make content that is greedy, then that only lasts so long with these players as you start rotating them out, in and out, and in and out, doing your circle rotations of cycling out old players, cycling in new ones.
I got a feeling they got something cooking, which is not Crimson Desert, but
It's a new costume, Pansy. It's a new costume. That's what it is. They what they're cooking is a new costume, and you should be very, very excited.
will likely put us in the back seat somewhere down the line. Anyway,
We already are in that back seat, dude. Enjoy being in the back of the bus. It's a very short one.
talk about this. Let's talk about this. I know some of the things I say might not make sense, but I'll try to elaborate as best as I can. First thing, BDO is in a declining state. There's no argument to that. We've seen the Steam charts. We've seen the kind of updates that came out, disappointment people have had. Hey, how about this one? They accidentally buffed Berserker, who was one of the most broken classes in AOS.
I think accident is a strong term to use.
To such an extent that it just engulfed the top ranks of AOS. I mean, the changes like that are just beautiful. Like, why?
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about a few other classes, Sage, Draconia, like the list will go on. I don't think it's a matter of not knowing about it. I think they actually do. I think it's just a matter of the lack of care towards it, or trying to have a class catered towards what people should play. It could just fall under they're not that smart, and it's just pure lazy development, which is kind of a trend we do see.
Do you not test things? Do you not think
No.
before you do something? But
No.
You know, it's been a series of things, right? You know, last year in the
They do test things. That's what we have Korea for. They get it first. They test it for us.
summer, we had a massive resurgence of players thanks to Lost Ark losing a huge chunk of players, people being upset about it and quitting Lost Ark like people are quitting BDO right now. They all came to BDO with a lot of content creators and stuff, and there was a huge influx of players, and you know, BDO was on the up, and unfortunately it might have gotten to their heads thinking, oh, we can replace the existing player base with someone who's more friendly to our monetization approach or something. Some idea got into their head, which is not right. As we know what happened last year, you know, after they played for a month or two, it was hype, it was great, it was fun. Then they got to the real grind. They realized, hey, this is going to take a lot of fucking time or a lot of fucking money. So they quit. A lot of players quit. Some people stayed around, but at the end of the day, the gameplay loop is boring. It's running in circles, making money, upgrading gear. What are you upgrading gear for? So you can run in circles more efficiently and make
No, so you can get to stationary grinding, Pansy. You run in circles, so eventually that you can grind in place. Those are the upgrades we face, man. You get this right. And soon there'll be squares, and then there'll be triangles, and then there'll be ovals, which is totally not the same as circles.
more money and rinse and repeat. I call it the hamster wheel. And that gameplay loop is not a successful one. There needs to be more variation, and I'm not here to give them ideas for free. I'm done with giving them free advice here. But anyway,
I don't fucking blame you, dude. Honestly.
all aspects of the game is down. Grinding is boring. It's the same thing over and over. You can release as many new grind spots, as many Dekia spots, and rehash as many spots as you want. It's still going to be the same thing. I'm still hitting pretty much the same rotation on my witch. You know what I mean? Life skills have been stale for a very long time. When was the last time they added a new life skill? I mean, they made some small quality of life changes, but who cares? It's still, at the end of the day, it's just grinding silver, you know?
People love complaining about games they have 40,000 hours in and spend $10,000, especially streamers. I think you're just completely out of touch with where these people are coming from, though. We're talking about the top PvPers and most experienced players in the game who don't care about the grinding and the circles and the this. They care about the quality of life and the content that is in the game that they enjoy playing. And those criticisms and feedback should matter an exceptional amount, especially if people are able to deliver those opinions in a way that is not biased towards what they want. They're expressing opinions in a way that is constructive towards the improvement of the game that benefits everybody overall. I think that's not what you understand. Now, again, if you're tired of hearing the complaining opinions, you don't have to watch, you don't have to listen, just change the channel. It's that simple. And again, if you're having fun, then keep having fun because that's all that matters. You should keep having fun if you are having fun. But when people are expressing their opinions in a very calm manner, level-headed, in a way that is expressive towards the bettering improvements of the game overall for everybody, those are opinions that you should take into consideration. Then they shouldn't be doomers 24/7. Are they praising the new content? Do you not understand that the new content is on a weekly basis? And then after you're done your weekly little rotation, after a day of doing something, you're back to the same circles or stationary grind that you were currently doing. But if you're having fun with that, keep having fun with that. You clearly weren't playing the game in a beautiful time where the game was doing exceptional things for what it was. But it's on a decline because of the decisions that are being made. And there are players abroad with tens of thousands of hours of experience in this game that don't want to see this game die. They don't want this game to become unenjoyable. They want the game to thrive and do well. They don't want players, new players, mid-game players running into the same problems they have. They want to pave a pathway that lead you into a game that is focused in even different states that allow you to continue to have more fun. I think you're just missing the point. I think you're just choosing to hear that people are complaining rather than understanding the why they are. And that's okay, because if you're having fun, keep having fun and just change the channel.
No, even life skilling, it's just about making silver, getting better gear. There isn't a proper interconnectivity between these different systems in the game, which, you know, gives it a sustainable life. It's all about the grind. It's all about making money, you know, for us in game and for PA through us. But at the end of the day, this is not something that's going to sustain the game in the long term. Like, people are going to quit. People are going to get bored unless there's something fun to do. Why were we grinding so hard? Well, so we can do better in PvP. Most of the content right now that is actively played is capped content.
See, and this is what I'm saying. You're working so hard toward making these grand achievements to do what?
I was doing Node Wars for at least three weeks very actively just recently before the wedding I had to go to, before my vacation, and I was having fun, but I could see it being very frustrating because, you know, no one wants to go into tier 1 and get stomped by Cho. You don't have to worry about Cho anymore, but still, it was in a very bad state. Tier 2 Node Wars, tier 3 Node Wars were utterly dead. I mean, Siege, you know, it wasn't that much better because, hey, it was still to a certain extent scripting the fights. Oh, these guilds versus these guilds, you know? It's always, I mean, that's kind of what they wanted to avoid with the new system and all, but it just didn't work out. So the grind is boring. It's still the same circle grind, same hamster wheel, and they're just releasing new gear. So we continuously have to keep grinding. So the people who haven't grinded out the gear, they're like, oh my God, that's so many hours.
Yep.
Even with prices dropping and things being more accessible in that regard, it's
PA's cooking something. Yeah, PA is cooking your credit card. That's what they're doing. They're cooking your credit card limit, and they're cooking with the banks that'll help raise your credit limit.
still a fucking ton of hours. And the people who have done the grind are like, oh, new gear's coming out and we're gonna have to keep doing the same old grind again. I thought I was done. I thought after that 1,000 hours I was done. After spending those tens of thousands of dollars, I was done. But at the end of the day, the game state is not in a sustainable one for the current player base. Player base has to be replaced with, you know, newer players who are more friendly towards the monetization strategy.
Yep.
This is the only thing they've known. If they like the game, they'll like the strategy, right? Like,
But that is the system towards the success of their monetization.
they like the gameplay loop. For us, veteran,
How much have I spent on BDO? In the very beginning, I spent thousands. In the last 2-3 years, I've spent nearly nothing. I probably spent less than $100.
the game, they'll like the strategy, right? Like, they'll like the gameplay loop. For us, veteran players who played back in the day, we always have their memories of what it was, what it used to be. And we're always yearning for that again, but it's never going to happen. It's just not going to go back to that. What's going to happen? Game declines. Now, let's talk about the second one. I still say BDO is not dead. You
No.
can start playing the game.
Yep.
You can find active guilds to, you know, have some social connections with.
I mean, BDO is always the most new player friendly it's always been. It always is. That is always a trend of BDO. It is always going to be the most new player friendly it's always been because new players are their highest target, in my opinion.
You know, you can do whatever PvP there is to do. It's not like what it was before, but you can still do stuff.
True.
Is it great? No, of course not. But at the end of the day, a dead game is one that you go into town, it's like a ghost town. There's no one around. You know, the markets are dry. There's nothing to buy or no one to sell you stuff, no one to do content with.
Don't go to console. Don't go to BDO console. I seen what their cities look like. I watched a BDO console streamer trying to get a fucking tongue rad ring, and it took him forever to get one single tongue rad ring. Don't look at console.
No one to even interact with. It's not like that. The towns are still packed.
Yeah, because PC's popping. Fuck you, console. I don't want to hear about it. Get the fuck out of my comment section.
So it's not dead, but it's not in a great state either. However, listen, if a game has 100,000 players, are you actually interacting with all those 100,000 players? Realistically, you're probably going to interact with a few hundred at most over the course of a month. Maybe if you're super active in PvP or content which puts you in contact with other players frequently, you might hit like 1,000 something, but you're not going to be reaching out to like all 100,000 of those players, and their existence will mean nothing to you. There's not going to be any form of interaction other than, you know, maybe buying something off the marketplace. And having a stacked marketplace is great and all, but you don't need 100,000 players on an NA server to have that. You can still have an active marketplace with like 10,000 players.
Or asking someone if they're done with their spot or how long, or maybe you'll duel for spot, but duel for spot seems to be dying. See, the difference too is like, I know some people in the BDO community don't really care for World of Warcraft, but I will say the one thing that I do like with World of Warcraft is that there's so much content that encourages you to group up with people, do things together in order to succeed through these certain pieces and chapters and portions of the game and its content. And I wish BDO had more content like that that drew people together in that sort of way, in that MMO fashion, rather than just like the min-max silver per hour solo style content, which is fine. And it's fine, honestly. There's nothing wrong with that. But I do wish there was more camaraderie in this game, because I really feel like BDO becomes this very isolating experience that does a very good job pushing people away from one another rather than bringing people together in an MMO. Like this MMO feels like a glorified solo player game in that somehow fits its way in the MMORPG genre.
my point is, even if the game is in this bad state, if you're enjoying the game, if you do like the way it is, if you do like the grind and
Listen
you don't give
closely.
a fuck about PvP, bro, play, enjoy, have fun. It doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what any content creators say. What matters is you're having fun.
Exactly. Did you hear that? Do you need him to say it louder? This is what everyone keeps telling you guys who are complaining about people criticizing the game with valid opinions. If you're having fun, tune out the noise and keep enjoying yourself. If you're sick of listening to it, then stop listening to it. You have the ability to change the channel, turn off the video, mute the broadcast, mute the thing. If you're having fun, keep having fun.
But conversely, if you're not having fun, if you're not enjoying the current state of the game, quit. Just take a break, uninstall. Don't roulette your shit. Don't do anything drastic.
Don't bring up my name, Pansy. I feel like we're at a real close line here. Don't bring up the trash bin.
Clean up your inventory, buy all your best buffs, park your favorite class at your favorite grind spot, and just log out. Someday down the line, you might feel nostalgic and be like, hey, I want to play that game again.
Yep.
I know it sucks, but I just miss my class. I miss my character. And then you just log in and you're able to hit the ground running, have some fun, and you know, you'll thank your past self. Don't do anything stupid. Just walk away. It's a video game. It's not a career choice. You know, you don't owe PA anything. They owe you everything. If you're not having fun, go play something else. It's a video game. It's for fun. It's for enjoyment. Find that enjoyment. You're responsible for your own happiness. So if you're not enjoying this game, play a different one.
Based. That is so based. I needed Papa Pansy 3 years ago. Or sorry, what did you say? 2 years, 11 months, and 12 days on the dot. Yeah, there we go. I needed that advice and that many hours and seconds ago. Pansy, where were you, brother?
Simple as that. I know from experience because I've been playing a whole bunch of MMORPGs this year. I played RuneScape, Maple Story. I played an old ass game called Aura Kingdom. I hopped onto a little bit of Guild Wars 2, World of Warcraft.
Look at that smile on his face. Did you see that smile on his face while he was like, this, I played this, I played that, I played this. Now look at his face. He's about to say video.
Bro, I play whatever the hell I want to play because I'm not, you know, I am a content creator, but I've been very inactive. I'm not, you know, looking for a paycheck to come through from this. I don't even get $100 a month. I do whatever the fuck I want. So
Pansy, stop. We got to skip this portion of the reaction. Stop. Go on.
Listen, take it from me. It feels great not being put in handcuffs by BDO that, you have to grind, you have to keep grinding and stuff. It was such a terrible gameplay loop and hamster wheel that you're forced to run. And I had to, you know, I had to keep doing that because that was my content. That's my community on Twitch and stuff. But bro, you're actually free.
Yeah.
Like you
see, you're not bound by the chains of this little motherfucker here, dude. He's got me by the dick. I can't go anywhere, dude. My paycheck relies on it. I gotta feed my family because of you.
You can do whatever you want. You can play whatever game you want. You can quit and go as many times as you want with no worries. Listen, it's just a video game. And if it's not serving its purpose, that is having fun, chuck it aside, let them improve. And then if they ever do get better, then you can give them another shot, but you owe them nothing. And finally,
I mean, that's super well said, right? If you're having fun, have fun. If you're not, take break. Breaks are healthy. Breaks are important. You'll probably get hit bit by that BDO bug again and want to scratch that itch. And if you do so, then do, because video games are just meant to have fun. And like, honestly, that's it. But if you want to be a sweaty, degenerate, min-maxer, hardcore player, take everything super duper seriously, like all of our stupid opinions, and I mean, shit, have fun losing your hair too. Sorry, that wasn't meant to be. I'm sorry. Wait. Good as new.
game's not going to die in the next 5 years. It's not going to shut down in the next 5 years. I don't think it will. But at the same time, it's never going back to its glory days. It's never going to be what it was back in the days of assassins or pirates. Like, never. That's gone. Even if they were to do a classic server, which I feel like they will try to do some bootleg version of that,
the hardcore server where everyone's level 61 and sounds like they already have gear right off the cuff. The hardcore server. You know, I love the idea of hardcore, but man, that idea sounded so half-baked. Not even half-baked, quarter-baked.
Somewhere down the line, there are ways that they can make it work, but I'm not giving them ideas. But even then, it's going to be shitty. You guys remember the
Pansy, the only ideas that they listen to are the ones that fill their pockets up so they can continue to pay the insurance on their new Bugattis. They've got Cronstone Blue Bugatti, Memory Fragment Yellow Blue Bugatti, and all the blood from the PvPer Red Bugatti from killing PvP. Okay? Soon enough, they'll have Life Skiller Green Bugattis, and then they'll have fucking AFK blah. I don't even know.
kind of quality of life that the game was lacking back in the day, it was atrocious. It was so goddamn unplayable compared to what it is now. Like quality of life wise, the game plays a lot better than what it was back then, man. I mean, just that alone is going to be a huge turnoff for players. So however they're going to, if they're ever going to rehash it, they're going to have to really do some work. You can't just release that old version and say, here you go, give me money. Oh my god. The game sucked back then, but it was hella fun. Like the game was a lot smaller back then. Remember when we had different servers and we only had like 5-6 channels, I forget. But the game was really small. You only had like a small amount of grind spots. Like for example, when Sawsons was like the best place to grind almost. Like, you know, you have Node Wars, which is causing drama, and there's only 6 channels, so you don't have like all the channels we have right now where you'll constantly hop in until you find something empty. Nah, it wasn't like that. It was a small world. And then World Bosses had PvP where, you know, the drama was just through the roof, and it was hilarious. It was fun. Even though the game was pretty shitty in a lot of ways, it was still enjoyable. It gave you memorable moments, things to look forward to, you know, going out with the boys and just smashing some fool from the other guild, just running through the best grind spots to prevent them from grinding. It was just a lot of fun. It had a soul then. And right now, the current state of the game, the current hamster wheel, it doesn't have a soul. It doesn't have heart to it because you're just grinding mindlessly for.
Forget about the heart. There's not even a pulse. We're sitting here stationary at Dekia spots waiting for a pulse.
Silver to make the numbers go higher. Here goes Burr, right? But at the end of the day, it's not the same game. And the kind of people who enjoy the game aren't the kind of players who were playing back then. It's a different breed of players now. It's the newer folks who are more casual maybe, or, you know, less intense than what we were back then. But whatever it is, it's not a good or bad thing. It's, you know, if you enjoy the game, play it. Yep. There's nothing wrong to.
He said that like 4 or 5 times in this video alongside me piggybacking with that. I don't know how many times it's now been said, and still people are missing the plot.
There's nothing wrong with enjoying the current state of the game. If you like grinding mindlessly in circles, if you find it therapeutic like I did for many years, you know, enjoy it. There's nothing wrong with it. But at the same time, don't force yourself to play this garbage.
Don't say that, Pansy. I have so much silver and so many cron stones to make, Pansy. I have to force myself to play this garbage. I just have chat to help. Thank you, chat, for being here. What BDO is my background noise? Oh god. I can't like this video anymore. I've disliked it. Can't believe you said such a stupid thing.
Some changes that they make, it's just, what are you thinking?
Isn't that the truth?
That's the problem. They weren't thinking, right?
Yep.
Like,
Okay. They weren't thinking. You right. I like the video again.
You can see, like, you can just imagine they're thinking, they're sitting in their boardroom like, players probably aren't gonna like this and blah blah blah, and then someone's like, but it's about the money, shut up. And they just add more cronstone sinks and stuff. It's like, I don't think they're blind to our feelings about the game, but there is a different direction they want to go, and they're going that direction.
No, they've always been going that direction. It's how deep they can reach into your pockets, brother.
If our paths don't align, then so be it. I'll go my own way. And I encourage you to do the same. But at the same time, if you do like it, don't feel bad for seeing doom and gloom posts of content creators saying it's dead and whatever. Play the game, enjoy it. That's the thing. Make sure you're enjoying your time you're spending. This is a game where you either spend time or you spend money. And you better, you know, whatever you choose, it's your choice, but make sure it's worth every damn moment of it. Like, if it's not, then why are you doing it? You're not a content creator, then you got nothing to lose. Just do whatever, man.
If it's not fun, then what's the point? And that's also why I try my damnedest to make sure that I'm having fun, even in the things I'm doing, even if it is repetitive and stale, whether it be the conversations we do, topics we bring up, things we react to, try to ensure that it's some fun is at least being had, because otherwise it's just hard to enjoy. And then if I'm not enjoying that, I don't stream. I don't make the content itself. So, this is a healthy opinion, a healthy criticism, and a healthy point, in my opinion.
This video was supposed to be shorter, and then I just started rambling. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on whatever I just rambled about. I'm going to try a different approach to my content, and let me know what you think about something in this format. I think I got a few ideas. I probably want to pick apart the game, not in a way to help them or give them ideas, but to point out the flaws, what they should have done. And I got booted from the partner program, and I owe them nothing, and I have no ill feeling. So what I say is purely my opinion about the game.
Which you're still allowed to have as a BDO partner. I do want to be clear. I'm still a BDO partner. I'm still allowed to make the memes that I'm doing and the spicy content I've done. Not that kind of spice, but the criticisms that I've made, etc., etc. Just so long as it's not, you know, malicious in a sense. Why did he get booted? Probably for inactivity, honestly. He didn't get booted for bad stuff. He probably got booted for inactivity. There's a requirement of certain things that have to be maintained with your stream and YouTube content, and when he went inactive, he probably just didn't fall into the requirements. Pansy's a really solid dude, sound creator, very good person. He's also a father as well. So he probably got booted for griefing people back in like 2019, honestly. Let's be real.
You know, you see a lot of people just bitching and moaning about the game, and you think, oh my God, why are these guys always so mad? The way I like to look at it is they spent so much time in the game, tens of thousands of hours. Many of them spent thousands of dollars. They're just really passionate about the game. So, you know,
Oh shit! What did he just say? Run that back!
Just bitching and moaning about the game, and you think, oh my God, why are these guys always so mad? The way I like to look at it is they spent so much time in the game, tens of thousands of hours. Many of them spent thousands of dollars. They're just really passionate about the game. So
yes, thank you. All right, video will be in the description down below. Make sure to go over and give it a watch, give it a listen, give it a like, give him a ook in the comment section. Chat, here it is in the chat. Make sure to go give an ook in the comment section. Pansy, I love you. Thank you very much for reacting to me, and see you in the next one. Peace.